do not expect an instant result because life is gonna be long. That's what I believe, and exactly like what Guru told us during this CIA course. Attitude is the key. Attitude is the key because if you have all the attitude, then skill and knowledge is going to complement you. One thing, willing to learn. So always willing to learn and never give up. This is what I teach my family, my daughter. Two things. You have to respect people and you have to be kind to people. One thing that I always keep on my mind is what can I do to others? And if you want to be a good leader, you have to know what is the quality of a good leader. That's one key that I think I want to share to the young one, especially if you are not married yet. Find the right partner. You guys are so lucky that at your young age you are able to meet good. You guys are so lucky.
So hello everyone, hello to our live students. We're here in Malaysia at the Institute of Energy Medicine of our Guru Yogitan, the founder of LIFE program. And here we have the chance to introduce to our live participants Wayan Nugraha, or Vajra Ekarasi as we know him. And when we asked him how would you like us to introduce himself, he said, okay, this is someone who has some experience to share. And you know, humility is a quality of every good leader, and he has many good qualities. And just for our participants' information, we share that he's the current president director of Ingenico company branch in Indonesia. And this is a company that offers like payment services such as POS terminals and online payment solutions. And he has more than 10 years of experience in leadership roles, overseeing and growing different aspects of a company. So our live students have the opportunity to learn from his experience. So Vajra Ekarasi, can you share a little bit about yourself, about your life journey?
All right, so thank you, Stani. Thank you for this opportunity. Like what I said, actually, I don't really feel comfortable to be introduced, but because this is to inspire the live students, then I'm willing to do this. My life journey, actually, I started my career about 27 years ago. I started my career as an engineer, and from time to time I achieved something in my career, and then being promoted until in the last 15 years I have been trusted to lead 2 different companies, and this is my second company to lead, and that's all. That's a very long journey, but in short, I can say that I'm lucky enough that I have this chance to be in this position. But this is also a great responsibility.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you started as an engineer, and I suppose this is what you still studied at university?
Yeah, I actually majoring in electrical engineering. Management is away from what I learned during my college, but I did this by learning by doing, learning from experience. Also, like what I said, lucky enough to have a chance to conduct several roles before I'm here.
That's very interesting. And so, can you tell us about what inspired you, like in the beginning of your journey, when you were maybe less than 20 years old? This is the age usually of our live participants.
Okay.
How did you get started?
Okay. 27 years ago, I started my career with one thing on my mind, that I know that it's going to be a long journey. So by then, the time I knew that it's going to be a long journey. So what I did was I learned from any resources. I learned from reading a book. I learned from people who has more experience than me. I learned from peers, from colleagues. So I learned from everybody. That's the key. One thing that I think the life participants can learn that don't stop learning, especially when you are young, and do not expect an instant result because life is gonna be long. That's what I believe. 26, 27 years ago, life gonna be long, so I didn't expect any instant result at that time. I never thought that, not like current young people, right? They want to have everything instant, right? And during my time, it's not like that. During my time, you have to be an experienced guy. People will look at you what you have learned. People look at you what was your skill, and career is just a line to a long journey, and they will measure you with your attitude, like what Guru said, right? Attitude, your skill, your knowledge. So exactly that three is there: knowledge, skill, attitude. And knowledge, I learned, like what I said, I learned from the book. I read so many books. The skill I also learned from doing, and the attitude is one thing that I cannot find in today's young lives. Yeah, the attitude is one thing. Is everybody want to have an instant result. The second one is never give up. Right? That time I was willing to do anything. The boss, peers asking me to do anything, I do, because I know that's my chance to learn. And also the personality, I've been trying to be nice to everybody, because I know that being nice, they're going to be nice as well to me. That's my expectation, right? So by doing that, by having that kind of attitude, then I had a chance to learn, and then I built my network, because network is important, right? So that's how I started everything, and exactly like what Guru told us during this CIA course. Attitude is the key. Attitude is the key, because if you have all the attitude, then skill and knowledge is going to complement you. Yeah. So that's what I experienced during my initial career. Yeah. And for example, one or two things here that made me that helped me to be in this position is, during my life I never enjoy what you call overtime, because even though I was entitled for overtime, but no, I didn't take it because I don't want to be a transactional. So any task, even though it's not on my job description, I just take it because I think this is my chance to learn. And when I had a chance to learn somebody's job, no complaint, I just did it, because I know, like what I said, it's a chance to learn. Yeah, so that's why I can learn beyond my skill and knowledge, right? I can learn finance, I can learn human resources, I can operation, I can learn everything. So when the company is looking for a CEO, yes, I am the only one who knows everything already.
And this is how you go from position of an engineer to actually to a position of leadership.
That's why. So because the key is I built up all that knowledge and skill without questioning, without questioning whether I'm going to get something out of it. That's how I built during my initial career.
Yeah, you already mentioned a few things, but if you had to share only one thing that is most important for your success, what would it be?
One thing, willing to learn. So always willing to learn and never give up. That's all.
Yeah, thank you.
Willing to learn and never give up.
Yes, and you already mentioned that you don't do overtime, so you have time for your family. And what is the most important family values for you?
The family value for me is, and this is what I teach my family, my daughter, two things. You have to respect people, and you have to be kind to people. Because when you respect people, when you are kind to people, this is a good thing that you can do to others, and you will get the good things back to you. That's all.
Yeah, that is very precious. And also about our life program, we teach about 4 types of archetypes. This is the leader servant, the leader entrepreneur, the leader king, and the leader holy being. How would you relate the 4 archetypes, like in your experience? Is there a period when you were like more like a leader servant, or like, we know that you're leader entrepreneur now, or like a leader king? How would you?
I think being a leader, you have to be able on those 3, right? Because being a leader, you are dealing with a different type of people, right? When you are dealing with a young guy, you have to be a role model. That's going to be a servant, right? Because you need to serve them. Serve them means that this is what I have been doing with the people at my office, for example, that I like coaching people. I have people under me to coach free. They can ask me anything, learn from me what they need to do to build up their career, and that's free. That's servant, right? Because you serve them, you give them knowledge, right? You give them knowledge, you give them, or you show them how to be a leader, that you are willing to share your knowledge.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
That's servant, right? And being the entrepreneur, definitely you have to have a vision. 10, 20 years, what you want to do with the company. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, because you are going to lead the company. You are the pilot. And the company is going to run by them, but you are the pilot. Without them, I cannot do anything. Because they are the engine. I'm just a pilot. But without me, the company is having no direction. So it has to be a combination. So sometimes I have to be an entrepreneur. King, most of the time, because you have to make decisions. So being a leader, you have to be on those 3. And you have to practice on get used to make yourself being on that 3. You cannot be on 1. So that's my answer to you.
Yes.
In relation to where I am on those 3 or type of leader. You have to be everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for your sharing. And we know you, so we know that you're also a spiritual person. Can you share more about that?
Oh, this is a difficult one. Spiritual. Actually, I have been trying to be living in this kind of mindset. Yeah. Probably I'm not a guy who engage with so many rituals during my development age, during my young age. I'm not used to it, and until today I'm not used to it either. So it's very rare for me to do chanting, to do ritual. It's very rare. But one thing that I always keep on my mind is what can I do to others? I have been telling myself that I have to give something back to community since I was young, since before I knew Guru. And my wife knew me very well that I like helping people. I don't want to mention, but I like helping people. So helping people, I've been engaged with United Nations organization, UNICEF, even the organization that help animals. I contribute monthly since 15 years ago probably. So that's what I always put into my mind, that I'm here for something. I'm here to be meaningful. Back to Padmasambhava, if this is be connected to Padmasambhava, From time to time, I always ask Guru, what can I do to help within my capacity, and what can I do to help? What can I do to help Guru to bring more benefit to other people within my capacity? That's how I train myself. So this is also what I told to my daughters, that you need to think that you are able or do something for others. So in according to our capacity. So that's how I run I do my spiritual life. If you call that spiritual,
Very good example.
yeah, if you think that is spiritual because I like helping people, that's all.
And during our conversations before this interview, you shared something interesting about how you managed to accomplish your goals, your objectives, how you set them. And this can be very helpful to our life participants. Can you share?
Okay. Since about 15 years ago, 27, 28, I was lucky that I met somebody who teach me how to create a goal, what need to be done in a more scientific way at that time. I always put or write handwriting what I want to achieve in the next 12 months. And I do kind of a revision every 3 months. This is your PDCA, right? So, well, I always write, so for today, not just now, I'm still drafting my goals for the next 12 years. I don't know whether you are familiar, it's about be, do, have. Alright? So, the goals is not what you want to have. Most of the people write something that, what do you want to have? Okay. Actually, the easiest part, so-called the easiest part, but actually this is the most difficult one, is you just write what do you want to be. Then when you have the be, and you are having discipline to do, the have is going to come in by itself, right? So for example, if I want to help people with my own capacity, within my capacity, I have to have some amount of money, right? If I'm not talking about a lot, but some amount of money. So I need to be a rich guy, otherwise I cannot have money to help people. So back to Guru's teaching, what is the quality of a rich guy? To be rich, you have to have a knowledge, skill, and a teacher, right? And I always believe that a rich guy is not a stingy one. Because they have a lot of money, they are not stingy. So they are willing to share, they are willing to give, right? So that's one B. And if you want to be a good leader, you have to know what is the quality of a good leader, right? You have a good leader is decision maker, willing to take responsibility. It's not something like you do something but you don't want to take responsibility. Then that's also part of your objective in the next few months. You want to be a good father, you want to be a good husband. And one more thing for the young, especially the one that is not married yet, you have to find a right partner in your life. I'm lucky that I have a partner. So because if you don't have the right partner, then it's going to be very difficult for you to go through your journey. So partner is the most important key. For example, for a young man, why I said that you need to find a right partner. If you have the wrong partner, no matter how much money you make, if your wife keeps spending, you are not going to be good guy. You are not going to be rich.
That's true.
Right? So that's one key that I think I want to share to the young one, especially if you are not married yet. Find the right partner. Because otherwise your life is not going to be smooth.
That's very important part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a leader, you maybe face some challenges in your life. How do you have a method how to face them, and how you stand in front of challenges when things get tough?
That's why I'm here actually. So yeah, from time to time, definitely challenges coming. Yeah, this is what I think need to be related to Guru's teaching, that you need to be able to understand what is actually going on. Because if you don't understand what is actually going on, and you cannot perceive that as a phenomenon, and you always think that is a real thing, then definitely your life is going to be ruined. Sleep disorder, stress, overloaded, all those things is going to happen. So I think that's why I'm also keep learning from Guru, that everybody has a challenge. I have my own challenge. Others have their own challenge. Everybody has a challenge. So this is why we are here learning together. We are the same, no different. That's what I always say to our family, that we are here, Guru student. We are the same human beings. Have a chance to learn together, sharing each other.
Yes, that is very, very encouraging, especially for the young people that have many challenges, especially in the beginning of their
Oh yeah, young people don't expect an instant result. That's all, because you will have a lot of things in front of you, and you need experience. You need to also learn from the more experienced guy how to handle situation. That's, I think, the most important message.
Yeah, that is like we live in a culture that promotes instant gratification. But
Exactly. That's the thing that I think young people need to learn. Yeah, because they have to be, especially the one that knows Guru. You guys are so lucky that at your young age you are able to meet Guru. You guys are so lucky. I only met Guru when my age already 42. It's quite old compared to all of you, but it's better late than never, right? But you guys are so lucky, and you, with all the information that I think you can search it in Google, it only so small percentage of population in the world has a chance to be a yogi student. So be lucky, be grateful, be grateful.
Thank you for this encouragement. And do you have some final message just to, as a conclusion, to share?
Oh yeah, I think like what I said to you, Stani, what's my value? What I want to share is be kind, respect each other, and treat other people like the way you want them to treat you. That's the key. Yeah, if you want to be treated nice, treat other beings nice. And if you want to have a good merit, if you want to get good merit, do good merit to others first. Then you will get it back, guaranteed.
Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.